Remember all those missing salt checkers? Well, get ready because this week, things at Pacific View get really interesting. Someone passes away unexpectedly, and it really shakes up the whole community. Even our undercover guy, Charles, seems pretty affected by it all.
Yeah, this episode was like a total roller coaster of emotions. You had those lighthearted moments, the ones we love, but then some serious stuff to think about too.
Right. Like first, we have all the typical craziness going on at Pacific View. Wi-Fi is out, salt shakers are still MIA, and Dee Dee's just trying to hold it all together.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing how the show makes those everyday problems so funny.
Oh, totally. It's like even in a retirement home, life throws curveballs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's fun for us watching how everyone deals with those little annoyances.
Exactly. But then, bam, the mood shifts. We learn about Florence passing away. Such a sad moment. It really hits everyone at Pacific View hard, especially Ginny. She seems just heartbroken. It makes you realize, how strong those bonds between the residents really are.
Yeah, and it's interesting how they show all these different ways people cope with grief, right? Like, Ginny's very open with her emotions, while Charles seems to keep everything bottled up inside. But either way, you see the community come together to support each other.
It's really beautiful. But speaking of Charles, his visit with his family is, well, a bit awkward. His kids don't seem too thrilled to see him. Makes you wonder what's going on there, what happened in their past.
Oh, for sure. You can tell there's some baggage there, some unresolved stuff. Charles is already dealing with so much the emotional weight of his undercover mission, his health issues. And now, on top of it all, this complicated family drama.
Right. It's like, how's he supposed to handle all that?
It's a lot for one person.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then there's Dee Dee. She gets this amazing job offer, a promotion, but it means leaving Pacific View.
Oh, man, what a tough choice. On the one hand, this incredible career opportunity, but on the other hand, all the connections she's made, the community she's built at Pacific View, it's like choosing between her head and her heart, you know?
I know. And it really makes you think, as a viewer, what would you do in that situation?
Absolutely. Like, what's truly important in life? Is it climbing the career ladder,
Yeah.
or is it those meaningful connections with others?
It's such a tough question. But for now, let's talk about, I think, the most emotional part of this episode. Florence's memorial service. It was so beautifully done, a really powerful way to honor her memory. And you could just feel how much she meant to everyone.
Oh, absolutely. That scene was a real tearjerker. What really struck me was how each resident shared their personal stories about Florence. It wasn't just some generic service, it was a genuine celebration of her life. And for us watching, it's this reminder that even in a place like a retirement home, deep connections, real friendships can blossom.
I totally agree. But then, just when you think you've cried all your tears for this episode, they hit us with this hilarious twist. Remember all those missing salt shakers? Well, a massive shipment of them shows up at Pacific View. And guess who arranged it? Dee Dee.
The timing was perfect. It's like the show saying, okay, enough sadness for one episode, time for some laughs. And what a clever way to bring back that running gag about those salt shakers.
For sure. And, it also shows just how much Dee Dee cares about the residents. Like, she really went above and beyond to solve that problem. She wants everyone at Pacific View to be happy.
Absolutely. She's incredibly dedicated. But while Dee Dee's dealing with mountains of salt, Charles is trying to, figure out his own life. That visit with his family really got to me, It makes you think about the choices you make, the regrets you carry.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it adds so much depth to Charles's character, right? It's not just this agent on a mission. He's a man wrestling with his past, his relationships, and his own mortality. You see the toll it's taking on him. Makes you wonder how he can even focus on his investigation with all that going on.
Totally. It's like he's carrying this immense weight.
Right. And then there's the added pressure of his cancer diagnosis. That can't be easy, being surrounded by people facing similar health challenges, especially now that he's lost Florence.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It's one thing to investigate a place from afar, as an outsider, but it's another to be immersed in it, living those same joys and sorrows alongside everyone else. Your perspective changes, your priorities might shift.
Exactly. And I think that's what makes Charles such a compelling character. He's not just observing anymore. He's becoming part of the community, forming real bonds. And that makes his mission even more complex.
Right, because now he's personally invested in what happens at Pacific View. It's not just about completing his assignment, it's about protecting the people he's come to care about. And we, as viewers, get to see that inner struggle play out.
It's fascinating. It really makes you wonder what he'll do next. What do you think about his progress in the investigation so far? It feels like he's getting closer to the truth, especially after those conversations with Gladys.
Oh, I agree. Gladys is such a fascinating character. She's very observant but quiet, and you get the feeling she knows way more than she's letting on. For us watching, it's like, is she a suspect? Is she an ally? Or is she something else entirely?
Right. It keeps you guessing.
Yeah.
I have this feeling she's holding on to some crucial piece of information. I mean, she's been at Pacific View for ages. She's seen it all. And those interactions with Charles, they're always so cryptic, you know? Like she's testing him, seeing if he's worthy of her trust.
It definitely adds that suspense element, keeps you on the edge of your seat. It's like, what does she know? And when will she reveal it?
Hmm.
And it also reminds you that even in a seemingly peaceful place like a retirement home, everyone has secrets.
Absolutely. Secrets, drama, a mountain of soul shakers. This episode was a wild ride.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about Dee Dee's career dilemma. It's so relatable, you know?
Yeah.
I think we've all faced tough choices like that, where our ambitions clash with our personal commitments.
Oh, yeah. It's a classic struggle, head versus heart. And for Dee Dee, it's especially difficult because it's clear how much she loves working at Pacific View. She's found her purpose there, you know? Leaving would mean saying goodbye to a community she's deeply connected to.
Right. It's like leaving a piece of herself behind. But that promotion, it offers new challenges, new opportunities for growth. It's such a tough call. I'm really curious to see how she'll decide. What do you think? Will she prioritize her career or her connection to the residents?
It's the million-dollar question, and it's what keeps us hooked as viewers. We're invested in these characters, their journeys, we want to see them happy, but we also understand the complexity of their situations.
It's like we're right there with them, experiencing it all.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this show so special, I think. It's more than just a mystery. It's about life, relationships, and finding your place in the world.
Exactly. And the fact that it all happens in a retirement community adds another layer, right? It challenges those preconceived notions we might have about what life is like after a certain age. These characters are vibrant, they're funny, they're full of life. They show us that it's never too late for love, for friendship, even for adventure.
So true. This episode really had it all. Mystery, humor, drama, and even some truly heartwarming moments. And now I just need to know what happens next. What do you think is in store for Charles and his investigation? Will he finally uncover the truth? And who do you think is behind it all?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it? The writers have done a phenomenal job of keeping us guessing. You know, every resident seems suspicious at some point. And those clues, they're scattered everywhere. It's like we're piecing together this massive puzzle, but we're still missing a few key pieces. And that's what makes it so fun to watch. You're constantly trying to figure it out, like who's being truthful, who's hiding something.
Exactly. And then there's Dee Dee's decision. Will she take that promotion and leave Pacific View? Or will she choose to stay with the community she's grown to love? I'm torn. Part of me wants to see her thrive in her career. But then again, I can't imagine Pacific View without her. She brings so much warmth to the place.
It's such a tough choice. And you know what? It really speaks volumes about her character. The fact that she's even considering it shows her ambition, her drive, but also her deep care for the people around her. I'm super curious to see what path she chooses and how that decision will affect her relationships, especially with Charles.
Me too. I think it'll have a ripple effect on everyone at Pacific View. And then there's Gladys, still an enigma, wrapped in a mystery. Do you think she'll finally reveal what she knows? Or will she keep playing her cards close to her chest?
You know, I have a feeling Gladys holds the key to this whole thing. She's like that wise old owl, she's seen it all, knows all the secrets, but she's also incredibly careful about who she trusts. I think Charles needs to earn her respect before she'll open up.
Maybe she's waiting for the perfect moment to drop some bombshell that changes everything. Oh, I can't wait to see how it unfolds. The show is so unpredictable. It's what keeps us coming back for more.
Exactly. You just never know what's going to happen next. One minute you're laughing at the absurdity of it all. The next minute you're on the edge of your seat trying to put those clues together. It's such a great blend of humor, heart, and mystery. And I think that's why it resonates with so many viewers.
It's a show that makes you think, makes you feel, and leaves you wanting more.
So what about you? What surprised you the most in this episode? What got you thinking? We'd love to hear your theories and reactions. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more insightful TV recaps. Until next time, keep watching.
Yeah, it shows how much she cares, But meanwhile, Charles is wrestling with some heavy stuff. That visit with his family, man, it really hit me hard. Makes you think about the choices we make in life and the regrets we carry. Yeah, absolutely. It adds a whole other layer to Charles, right? He's not just some agent trying to solve a case. He's a real person grappling with his past, his relationships, his own mortality.
Yeah.
And you could just see the weight of it all, you know? It makes you wonder how he can even focus on his mission with all that going on.
Right. It's like he's got the weight of the world on his shoulders, seriously.
Yeah. And then you add the pressure of his cancer diagnosis on top of that. Being surrounded by people facing similar health challenges, that's got to be
Yeah.
tough, especially now that he's lost Florence.
Yeah, that's such a good point. It's one thing to investigate a place from a distance, right, as an outsider. But it's completely different when you're actually there, immersed in it. You experience those same joys and sorrows alongside everyone else. Your whole perspective changes.
And I think that's what makes Charles such a compelling character. He's not just observing anymore. He's part of the community now, forming real bonds. And that makes his mission even more complicated.
Right, because now he's personally invested in what happens at Pacific View, right? It's not just about the assignment anymore. It's about protecting the people he cares about. And we get to see that internal conflict unfold.
It's really fascinating. Makes you wonder what he'll do. Speaking of questions, what are your thoughts on Charles's progress with the investigation? Does it feel like he's getting closer to the truth, especially after those conversations with Gladys?
Oh, absolutely. Gladys, what a character. She's so quiet, so observant. But you can tell she knows more than she's letting on. It's intriguing to watch, you know? You're trying to figure out, is she a suspect? Is she an ally? What is her deal?
Right. I have a feeling she's sitting on some vital piece of information. I mean, she's been at Pacific View forever. She must have seen a lot. And those interactions with Charles are always so cryptic. It's like she's testing him.
It definitely adds to the suspense, that's for sure. You're just waiting for her to spill the beans. And it reminds you that even in a place like a retirement home, everyone has secrets.
Oh, yeah. Secrets, drama, a mountain of salt shakers. This show is wild. But let's not forget about Dee Dee and her big career decision.
It's such a relatable struggle, you know? We've all had to make those tough choices in life, weighing our ambitions against our personal commitments.
It's the age-old dilemma, right? Head versus heart. And for Dee Dee, it's especially hard because she clearly loves her job at Pacific View. She's found a purpose there. Leaving would mean saying goodbye to a community she's become so attached to.
It'd be like leaving a part of herself behind. But that promotion offers new challenges, opportunities for growth. It's a tough one. I'm really curious to see what she decides. What do you think? Will she go for the career move or stay with the residents?
That's the million-dollar question. And it's what keeps us coming back for more, right? We're invested in these characters. We want to see them happy, but we also understand the complexities of their lives. It's like we're right there with them, experiencing their joys and their heartbreaks. That's what makes this show so special. It's more than just a mystery. It's a story about life, about relationships, about finding your place in the world.
Yeah, and it's all happening in a retirement home, which really adds something special, you know? It makes you rethink what life after a certain age is really like. These characters are so full of life and energy. It's like they're showing us it's never too late for anything. Love, friendship, new adventures.
Absolutely. This episode was a whirlwind.
Yeah.
Honestly, mystery humor, drama, heartwarming moments. It had it all. And now I'm just dying to know what happens next. What do you think is going to happen with Charles's investigation? Will he finally crack the case? And who do you think is behind it all?
Oh, that's the big mystery, isn't it? The writers are so good at keeping us in suspense. Seriously, every resident seems suspicious at some point. And the clues, there's just everywhere. It's like we're putting together a giant puzzle, but we're missing a few pieces.
Exactly. And then there's Dee Dee's big decision. Will she take the promotion and say goodbye to Pacific View, or will she stay with the community she loves? I'm so torn. I want her to do well in her career. But Pacific View wouldn't be the same without her. She brings so much to that place.
It's a tough call, for sure. And I think it shows a lot about Dee Dee that she's even considering it. It shows her ambition, her drive. But it also shows how much she cares about people around her. I can't wait to see what she chooses and how it affects everyone, especially Charles.
Oh, I know, me too. Her decision is going to have a huge impact on everyone at Pacific View. And then there's Gladys. Still such a mystery. What do you think? Will she finally reveal what she knows, or will she keep those secrets locked away?
I have this feeling that Gladys is the key to this whole thing. She's like the wise old sage who's seen it all and knows everything. But she's also very guarded. I think Charles is going to have to work to earn her trust.
Maybe she's waiting for the right moment to drop a bombshell that'll change everything.
Yeah.
The suspense. I can't wait to see how it all plays out. This show is so unpredictable. It just keeps you hooked.
I know, right? You never know what's going to happen next. One minute you're laughing your head off. The next you're on the edge of your seat trying to piece together the clues. It's a brilliant mix of humor, heart and mystery, and I think that's why people love it so much.
It's a show that really gets you thinking and feeling and leaves you wanting more.
So what about you? What surprised you the most in this episode? What got you thinking? We want to hear your theories, your reactions. Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more TV recaps. See you next time.